Hello, this is my topic report video for my research. I chose question 5, which was review the Yale Environmental Performance Index for all countries. How can it be that advanced market-based economies have higher living standards, more robust GDP, and treat the environment better than others? Living freer is better for both the economy and the environment. How can this be? I was really intrigued by this question and by what it suggested and excited to research it. Clearly, this question already had sort of a path to follow for the research, so I structured it like the question, and I looked at higher living standards, GDP, and then the environmental effects. So obviously the first place I started was with the Yale Environmental Performance Index, looking at what countries were on there near the top and how those countries' market operates. So the number one country on there was Denmark. So that's where I started. And I looked, first of all, is Denmark a developed country? And it absolutely is. So that was the first part of the question, dealing with advanced economies. Denmark is advanced. And then secondly, I looked at, is it free market? And it is. Contrary to popular opinion about certain countries, Nordic countries, Denmark is actually capitalistic and operates under a market economy. So that's where I started. They have this high environmental performance review, as well as higher living standards. So from there, I worked through each one. So starting with higher living standards, what about a market economy leads to better living standards for its citizens? Well, the main things I found, and I looked at several sources, several different opinions, the main things I found were that market economies allow for innovation, they allow for freedom, they allow for demand and supply to operate without other forces interfering to an extreme degree. Now, obviously, one thing I want to point out is that, as the textbook mentioned, many economies are mixed or have some elements. You can't have a totally, completely free market economy. There's at least some government intervention there. However, within the market economy, the thing that I found most prevalent was innovation. We just talked in chapter 9 about the use of technology and how technology can slow down the law of diminishing returns. Technology can speed economic growth. Technology can lead us to be more efficient and come up with better ways to do labor and lead to a better output of quality and quantity of the goods that we're getting from that. So that clearly bled into all of this, a higher living standard, because people are able to get better jobs. People are able to work more efficiently. They're able to take advantage of specialization of labor. And then that also plays into GDP. When people are allowed to take advantage of specialization of labor, and the economies of scale, that plays into a better GDP. Again, when we have technological growth and innovation, we have higher GDP, most cases. And lastly, that plays into the environmental point of this. So when I was first broached with this question, I found it really interesting because a lot of times the picture you get is that advanced capitalistic or free market economies typically don't care about the environment. However, I found that a lot of research was on the contrary to this. So why is it that market-based economies typically treat the environment better? Well, first of all, these developed market-based economies have the resources to. Again, this plays into technology. They have sort of a hierarchy of needs, right? So if an economy is just trying to survive basically, and they don't have time for new innovations, and it's very tight almost, I guess that's not really a great word for it, but then it's not going to have that technological freedom to broach environmental topics and to better take care of the environment and find new ways to do things that don't harm the environment. So yeah, that's what I found for this question today about why free market or market-based economies and those that are more developed typically have better living standards, better GDP, and treat the environment better. And what it came down to, and the research shows, is its innovation and the freedom to create that leads to these things and economic growth. Thank you.